your coaching business. We're going to have a look at why trying to get it right is actually wrong. It is such a killer for businesses, particularly those that are at the start of their business. And there's ways that you're doing it that you may not even know is happening. So I want to go through that with you today so you can stop and reflect and go, am I doing that? And if you are, I'm going to share with you ways that you can shift out of it. Do you like all the flashing lights that are going around? The sun is flickering here, so it's flickering all over me. I think it's very pretty. I got the sparkles going on. Sparkles. But we're going to go through that today. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Joanne O'Halloran, and I'm a business mentor and sales expert for coaches who want to multiply their leads, their clients, and their revenue. I particularly specialize in getting in your leads, nurturing, like really nurturing your audience, so that your sales can become super, super easy. I have clients that are signing their own clients left, right, and center because of these strategies. Like, we simplify it down. There's no cookie cutter strategy. So like, say for example, if like say LinkedIn is your place to go, there's no one LinkedIn strategy that fits all. There's the foundations of the LinkedIn strategy, and then you put your flair on it to match your niche, your personality, your style, all those different kind of things. And it's the same with pulling people into your email, pulling people into your masterclass. So we go through all that so you can find your flair. And if you ever hear people online saying, you've got to be you and you've got to show up authentically. If you're anything like me, I didn't know what that meant. I was like, just tell me step by step what you're talking about. I couldn't fathom it. It was like somebody speaking like a completely different language that had just been made up. I didn't understand it. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that are the same. It's the same with, you just have to look within yourself because the answer within you. That's great, but there's a lot of work to do to uncover that and to release it. So this is part of what I'm going to talk to you about today, is why trying to get it right is actually wrong. And I promise you, you will see things in this where you're like, oops, I might have done that. Oops. I might have, said that. And, that's okay. And like, I teach all of this stuff inside of my mastermind. We go through all of this in detail because it matters. Like, I cannot stress enough how the foundations of your business really impact how you're going to catapult from there. So like, if you're not clear on who your ideal client is, and here's one where I'm gonna really start off with saying, when you're trying to get it right, you might actually be getting it wrong. If you're not clear on who your ideal client is, that impacts everything from your message. So like how you write your copy and your content, how you deliver when you're speaking live, how you talk on masterclasses, and how you package and price your offer. And you might be like, what are you talking about? When you're not clear on who your ideal client is, you will price and package your offer based on who you are, not on who they are. And it's incredible, like when you start to see this link. So let's get into this. Let's dive into it. You're probably going to want a pen and a piece of paper for this, so go grab one now if you haven't. And let's talk about how when trying to get it right is actually wrong. So I'm going to take it back to the very, very basics and the very beginning, should I say, rather than basics. So when you're thinking about starting your business, or you have just started your business, what are the things that you focus on during the day? Like, what is it that you think is important to do? So what most people do is, I need a website, my social media, right? So that's normally where people go, right? And your program. So they're the three things, right, that people will tend to do. And you try to get that right. This is one of the first things that you're getting wrong, okay? Because aesthetics and all those things, they don't really matter in the beginning. They matter afterwards, right? But what comes out of your mouth is more important. Like, literally what comes out of your mouth. Like, if you're getting engulfed in Canva and getting engulfed in trying to make things super pretty, where's all your attention going? So if you're trying to get your aesthetics right from your branding, you're trying to get a post graphic perfect, but there's people over here that you're not speaking to who are actually your ideal clients, you're doing it wrong. If you are putting out posts and not connecting with people who are engaging with your posts, then what are you focusing on? So it's really about where you're putting your focus and what you're trying to get right. In the beginning, a website doesn't matter. I can tell you this now. I built my website at the beginning because I was told to. I'm pretty sure it doesn't get used, right? And like I've met so many other women that say the same thing. It was the biggest waste of time and money. Now, I'm not saying websites aren't lucrative. They absolutely are. But at the beginning, like your first couple of years, you do not need your website. You need a landing page. So as in like a sales page where you're going to drive people to, and a thank you page and probably an upgrade page. But other than that, what do you want a website for? What do you want a website for? But think about how much time and effort you're spending on trying to get that right, trying to get your freebie right, trying to get the look right, trying to get how you look right. Like I'm showing up today in Winnie the Pooh, right? This doesn't change what's coming out of my mouth. And I'm obsessed with Winnie the Pooh and I have no shame in my game, right? But you have to think about what it is that you're trying to get right. So like if you're trying to get your message right, if you're trying to get your graphics right, if you're trying to get your platform right, if you're trying to get your program right, you're missing the point. You don't have a business when you don't have leads. Where do you get leads from? Leads come from connection. They don't come from your pretty graphics. They really don't. Like they don't come from how amazing your makeup is, your contour is, your eyebrows, your eyelashes. They don't matter. Like if I look at the circle of women that are around me that are successful, half of them are like complete glamour queens and the other half are just like me. Not, right? There's nothing different about our businesses because we're showing up as ourselves. We're attracting in the people that are just like us, right? So all the stuff that you're trying to get right is distracting you from the things that will actually grow your business. But there's a reason why you're trying to get them right. And this is something that's really important to delve deep with, particularly in the infancy stages of your business. And when I say infancy, I'm talking about like even not just before you've launched it. I'm talking about in those first 18 months to 2 years. Like this is crucial to go deep with because it shows up everywhere, right? This whole thing of like procrastination or perfectionism, they're the same thing in terms of they keep you stuck. But there's always something else that's underneath them that's really driving this. Like it's completely driving your thoughts. So whenever you feel that, you need to get a graphic right, your makeup needs to be right, your lighting needs to be right. Like how many of you would not show up like with this flickering like this? It still doesn't make a difference to what's coming out of my mouth. But yet a lot of people that are newer in business won't do that because they think that that's what people is going to be looking at. You're looking at it now because I'm pointing at it, but I guarantee you before that you weren't looking at it. So you can try and focus on the things that are going to be right and go into perfectionism, which is then going to keep you stuck. Or you can procrastinate on doing anything at all, still because you want to get it right. But when you start to look at what's really causing that, like what is the root cause of that, like deep down, like your root cause of that, it's going to come back to something like many of the same things, which is like you're terrified that somebody is going to judge you. You're terrified that somebody is going to turn around and say, "That's shit. What were you thinking?" And I can honestly say very, very seldom does that happen. Very seldom. And here's why. Anyone that is watching you doing what you're doing, right? They're either going to be celebrating you or one of three things. They're either going to be celebrating you and thinking, oh my goodness, you're amazing because I couldn't do that. Or they're going to be envious of you that you're doing it, or you're going to trigger something in them to go, well, if she can do it, I can do it, So when you start to go inwards, so you're going inwards. So when you're trying to get it right, you're actually making it all about you. So you're going inwards, but all you're doing is feeding any insecurities that you have, which are around like, being judged, getting it wrong, not being liked, trying to look good, terrified you're going to be rejected, like those kind of things. And these are all mine, right? So I'm terrified of these things. And it makes you go inwards, which means that you focus all your energy inwards, which sucks everything in and makes your energy super tight, which means that there's clients and everything over here that are waiting on you to come out and go, can you tell me what it is that you do? Because I really need you. And you're just keeping them at arm's length. So when you try to get things right, you're actually missing the point. You're actually missing the point. I guarantee you that there's not going to be one business owner that you're going to come across that says to you, oh my goodness, that's perfect. That's perfect. This thing in my business, it's perfect. because we're always up leveling. We're always up leveling. Like my brand at the start was beige, right? Like beige and like a pinky kind of a color, because I thought that's what women were meant to have. I didn't freaking resonate with it at all. They were colors I never wore. I'm like blues and greens, like, and the bold colors. But I wasn't being true to me because I thought that that's what other people. I was trying to get it right. Trying to get it right. Even with taking pictures, like I was trying to get it right because I don't like my teeth. So I was trying to get it right. Y'all looking at my teeth now, right? So I was trying to get it right. I just don't even care anymore because it's not important. There's nothing wrong with my teeth. I don't like them. Does it matter what's coming out of my mouth? No. But all of these things are coming back to you're making it about you rather than about the people that you want to serve. And when you're doing this, you are messing up your opportunities to be able to bring in sales. So here's what you can do with this. There's certain things that I get my clients to do every single solitary morning. And they're like, they will say to me every time I say it, they're like, oh yeah, because if something isn't going right, they're like, oh yeah, Joanne, yeah, I didn't do that. So, and that was 11 when I said that. So, you know. So here's what I want you to do. Every morning when you get up, just grab a journal, grab a piece of paper. This one, actually, a couple of my clients have loved too. This one, I love it. It's just a nice planner because it breaks it down per day. Oh, you can't see it. Just breaks it down per day, but every hour per day from 5 a.m. And it goes through your priorities, your to-do list, your positive habit maker, make sure that you've done your gratitudes, what your goal is, your priorities, all those things. On top of that, what you get to ask yourself is, what is it that I'm committed to do today? What am I committed to? And that commitment needs to be client/sales focused. No, it has to be client/sales focused. If you do not have recurring income in your business, if you do not have recurring consistent clients in your business, no other task is important. Okay. So it needs to be around connection and clients. And you will probably make up a load of stories in your head about it, and that's okay, because that's showing you where you need to have your breakthrough. And it's showing you like the emotion that's pulling you down and holding you back. And you've got to be brave and be courageous. It takes bravery and courage to be able to build a business. It's not going to happen. You're not going to wake up one day and feel uber confident. It takes that bravery and courageousness. So I want you to ask yourself, what am I committed to specifically around connection and connection with clients and sales? That's number one. That has to be number one on your agenda. Number one, connection with clients and sales. The second one then is, okay, what is it that I need support with in order to make this happen? So if, for example, you've said, I'm going to connect with 5 leads today. Maybe you don't have 5 leads. Okay, great. So what do you need support with to get it done? You don't need support playing around in Canva. You don't need support building a website. You don't need support building a graphic or anything for social media. What is it that you need support with? In that instant, what you need support is from somebody who can tell you this is how you get leads today, not tomorrow, not in a week, today, because there's always ways that you can get leads today, but you've got to be willing to open your mind to it, not worry about get it right, but be focused on connection. The second thing then, so once you've written out what it is that you need support with, then you get, okay, who do I need support from to make it happen? So who is it? Who do I know in my circle? Who do I know that can literally support me with this so that I can make it happen? It's not, can you make it happen? Of course you can. But the will you is down to you, because you've got to make that decision. And sometimes it's making the decision that is actually the scariest part, because the decision brings up all this stuff inside of us that we're afraid of. So we're afraid that we're not going to be able to do it. We're afraid that we're going to be rejected, that we're going to look silly, that like I'll use words with you that my clients have said to me when they originally came to me is, I don't want to be harassing people. What happens if somebody says no to me? Oh my God, what happens if they ignore me? Right? They're the real things that come up for people. But until it happens, it's not your reality. So you're trying to operate based on a prediction rather than your actual current reality. So you've got to shift past that. So the 3 key things are, what specifically am I committed to around connection with clients and sales today? So like declare a number, like literally declare a number. And then what specifically do I need support with to make it happen? Like, what are the actual actions to make it happen? It's not about putting a post up on social media. It might be that and something else, but it's the connection. Like, who can help support you with the connection to pull in leads today? If that's what it is, right? Or if you have leads there, who can support you with converting them to sales today? Then the third thing is who do I need support from to make it happen? So who within my community, who within my network do I know that has the strategy, has the insights, has the leadership to support me to be able to make that happen? Everything else that you're going to focus on doesn't matter at the start. It really doesn't matter, because you want to know where your strengths are. You want to know what works to be able to pull people into your world, because that's what you're going to double down on to be able to scale your business. So let me give you an example. One of my clients at the moment, she spent all of her time on social media, which is phenomenal. Social media is a beautiful window into what you do, but the majority of sales are always made on email. So if you're just focusing on social media and you're not automating stuff from an email point of view, it's very heavy in terms of you being on all the time to be able to create sales, to be able to create clients. It requires you. Your business can't run without you, basically. So we're shifting that for her right now, right? But you've got to know what it is that is going to support you to be able to bring in those clients in your business. You don't get to stop the social media stuff because that's working for her, right? You never stop that. Why would you stop that? But the way in which it's being approached gets to shift so that it becomes scalable. But these are things that you've got to be able to look at within yourself and within your business. It's not about getting it right, because nothing is ever going to be right. There is no right and wrong. You've got to be willing to test things, to try things out, and to go all in. And let me be very clear, because I love when people say, but I can't quit my job. But nobody's ever said for you to quit your job. I did not quit my job until I had 30 grand in my bank account that I knew I could survive off. And I could see that I had these recurring clients coming in. Like, that would be silly to do. Number one, single parent. I was single parent. So there was only me and Leah. All the bills had to be paid. Nobody else was going to pay them, only me. So if I just quit my job with nothing else, like, that's just not being responsible, right? We still have our responsibilities that we get to take care of. But you still get to go all in. No, like, as I say, Rachel from Friends, side hatch that you can get out of. So that is where I'm going to leave it with you for today. So really have a look and go back through this and go, okay, where is this also happening in my business? Like, where am I doing this? Where am I, concentrating on things that genuinely don't matter, that are just not important, and where can I actually shift and go with them? So when you focus on them, it will make all the difference for you. And the doors are open to the mastermind. So if this is something that you want support with, book a call with me today.